good. I'm good here too.
Okay. Hello and welcome to everyone. Today our guest is MMA fighter Caio Machado. Caio Machado, congrats. Thank you so much for accepting the interview invitation. What can you say in general about yourself, your achievements? So we'll proceed with question by question.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk and share a little bit of my goals in my life. So I'm 27-year-old MMA fighter. I'm a heavyweight. My record is 5-1-1. I'm currently the top fighter fighting out of the top heavyweight on the Canada scene, and my goal is to get to UFC, and going as far as I can go over there. I'm searching to get UFC belt in the future, so that's always going to be the goal down the line. Getting better every day until I go to the top.
When did you start training MMA, and which was your first martial art?
So I say I did some karate and judo as a kid, but I was really young and I don't really remember that. I just know I did it, but I don't really use it. So I always count as I was 11 years old. I started BJJ, and that's when I started. I always liked to fight. When I was a little bit older, around 17, I started Muay Thai and competing on both. And once with some time and some more experience, I got an opportunity to go to the cage and fight MMA, and since that day, I've been turning my life to that direction and going full on MMA, and it's been good. I've been on a roll, and I'm excited to the next couple of steps of my career.
Do you have the nickname? If you do, can you please elaborate the background of your nickname?
Yeah, my nickname is Bigfoot. It's simple like that. When I started BJJ when I was at 11 years old, I was already my shoe size was already 14. So simple like that. I had a big feet. They call me Bigfoot, and I carry away through my entire life. And I think there's people in my gym back home in Brazil that don't know my real name. They just call me through Bigfoot.
Do you have the favorite strike and the favorite submission?
Like technique, you mean? My favorite technique to throw is my knees. I have a very good knee strike on the clinch, and that's been like my money maker for many sides. So I would go for my knees. And submission wise, I've been working a lot to master my leg locks. I think they're not used as much. People are not prepared to defend it as much, so it's always great to use, especially from the back.
Who are your coaches and sparring partners?
So I have my head coach, and it's Chris Franco. He's a legend in Canada. He's one of the pioneers on MMA here. He fought back in the day, Super Brawl, guys like Dan Severn. He's been through the journey like through his entire life. He's a great coach. My main sparring partner is Jaden Martin, another local fighter here. He's also been doing that for a while. Like, he's around my age. He fights at welterweight, but he walks at 220. So we got to work it out a little bit, and at least because of the weight difference, he's faster. So if I can keep up with his speed, I know it's gonna be easier for me to fight heavyweight guys. So I have a good team behind me, and that's one of the things I'm most comfortable with.
What can you say about your growing up in Brazil? How did it go?
Okay, yeah, no, I was saying like growing up in Brazil, I came from a like medium-sized city on the interior of São Paulo. My family, I grew up with a big family. We always like the kind of family that always gets together on Sundays on my grandma's place. I had a really nice like childhood growing up. My parents worked very hard. They got me to get a lot of opportunities. So yeah, growing up was very good. I always loved sports. I practiced everything during when I was a kid. Was kind of like I did from judo, karate, from soccer and swimming, and so it just like got a bunch of opportunities. And in some point, I just like figured out the fighting would be my way to go. And yeah, I'm just very happy with the way I grew up, my family, and how worked out for me. I can't really complain.
Yeah, that's really much outstanding. Do you still remember your first amateur fight?
So I don't have any MMA amateur MMA on my career. I can tell you my first. I remember my first BJJ competition. I was 12, and I I got caught right away on an armbar. I was like the thing is I was 12, but I was already really bigger, so there was no one on my age to fight me, so I had to fight guys that were 16, 17 years old, and then there was a little bit of power difference between us, and I kind of like lost it over there. And first Muay Thai, I remember I won the fight on the decision. Was of the most deadliest fight I ever seen. And I always say like first fight is always a street brawl. You forget everything you learn at the gym. You just want to throw and you get tired with 30 seconds. It's something you have to keep going learning. And I think that was a good experience for me to the future, like keep cultivating that and getting more opportunities. And with time, I got in a point that I am very comfortable with my game and what I'm doing right now.
How did your first professional MMA fight look?
Was again my first professional fight. It was in 2017 here by over BFL as well against amateur champion James Smith. We were both doing our pro debuts. I we got a split draw, but that was because I lost a point to suppose illegal blow that wasn't really a blow. A low. He said I knee him in the groin, but it was kind of bullshit. We went the fight back again. I throw the knee straight to the liver. He fell and he was crying. That was a low blow. The ref bought it and took me the point, and I that was why I draw. But we had a rematch and it just destroyed the guy in the first round. He tried to call the same bullshit, but this time everyone knew it, and we just kept going, and it was an easy one.
What can you say about your first professional MMA victory?
So about my first pro MMA victory was that first rematch about my fight. I had a draw and to a point deducted, and I just took the same guy. Was a completely different fight for me from the first. I knew I was more comfortable. I'm with the public and everything else, so it was just a matter of getting there, releasing my game. I was more aware of my wrestling as well. So it was just about timing and getting there, and again, throwing these to from the clinch was where I dropped the guy, and I just like knew I could get the pressure. Was a very good experience. I keep saying there's few things in the world that feels better than dropping someone down when you're fighting. So it was a good experience for me, and that showed that I had the capacity to keep going, keep improving. Because the biggest thing for me was not just the win, but how much I grew from my first fight and the second, and how much I kept growing from in the fights to come.
What can you say about Dustin Johnson as the opponent? He was my guest also.
Johnson is one of the nicest guys I fought. To be honest, we had a great fight. I think was I took this fight in the beginning of my career, where in a point that I was still learning and figuring out my game and understanding how I wanted to place myself as a fighter. I still needed to work on my wrestling, and he beat me on the experience. But if you see the photo of that fight, I caused more damage. So I was trying to go for the knockout, and he was a little bit smarter than me back then, and he took the fight to the judges, and just on controlling the center of the cage, putting me against the cage, he ended up taking the decision. But it was one of the best experience for me. Losing the fight make me grow, make me see all my flaws, and after. I know if you run this fight again, like it would, I think Justin's a great guy, but if you run this fight again, it would be my fight at day or night.
What can you say about your next fight? You then entered
Hi.
the winning streak.
So the fight to come, or the fight after Joyson?
After Johnson.
Okay, was the fight against Dalto Del Peru. He was comer from the he was coming from the amateur scene. He was the amateur champion that the day. He was coming with a bunch of knockouts in the first round or so. So I knew it was my time to use the experience. I knew after Johnson, I had enough experience to manage the fight and control it. And it was exactly what I did. I started just wearing him down and tying him up. And once I got the opportunity, I got caught him with a liver shot and just blows to the head, a couple hooks to drop him and just ground and pound in the end. Was the beginning for me of like taking a little bit more care of my cardio, controlling me, and understand. It was when I realized that I was getting aware of everything and getting where I wanted to be.
How did you defeat Lee Mine? It was also a stoppage.
He was that fight was a stoppage first round. I hurt him with a knee to the a liver shot, a knee to the liver. Then I broke the clinch and I caught him a couple hooks. He went down. Then I ground and pound until the ref stopped.
And Chris Larsen looked like an easy win for you. I mean, I watched the fight. It looked like pretty much of an easy work for you. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, well, like he was a looked very. I make look very easy. He's not a easy fight to take, but I made look easy because I'm that good. To be honest, like I'm that much better than him. Like he was a guy who is a brawler. He's not a fighter. He has heavy hands, but not more than that. I knew it was just a matter of like using my head movement, footwork to be in and out. And the second he made a mistake to put his hand down, I was going to clip him, and that came a little bit earlier than I expected. But like I took the win. It was a beautiful knockout, and yeah, if it was it was because I made it easy.
How would you describe in your own words your fighting style?
I'm a very versatile striker where I have a very good footwork and head movement to a heavyweight. I have one of the top cardios and stamina overall in the heavyweight division, like considering UFC level fighters. So I'm a guy who I'm not on rush to win the fights. I can rush you. I can put the pressure. I can keep bugging you and make you tired. I can just wait to tire you up and just counter strikes. I can go to like I'm working to be the most complete fighter of what I can be, but right now I'm just like I have better energy, cardio, and technique than most of the guys in my division.
Do you have the favorite quote, maybe?
Say again?
Do you have the favorite quote, like the favorite statement, something that you say every morning when you wake up? Do you have a quote that you say every
I
morning when you wake up?
Yeah, my saying is I say that every morning for me and every night is today I'm better than yesterday. Tomorrow I'll be better than today. That's my goal. I'm always trying to get the next challenge, to work best, to work harder, and to get better. I don't look back. I don't step back, and that's how I do my fights. Like I want to always to like improve myself, and like my next fight's always I'm always going to be looking better than the next fight. When this start to happen, it will be time to stop for sure.
Do you have the favorite animal, maybe?
Favorite animal?
Yes.
I'm a dog guy. I always have my father always had dogs at home, and I grew up around dogs and farms, and also I would say dogs my favorite animal. Like yeah, they are they're playful. They love people. It's just like a great personality. I love dogs.
What can you say about the potential upcoming fight? Do you have some future plans? How are you preparing at the moment? You said that you were moving, so how's everything going on at the moment? Do you have something to share, like that is available to share, of course?
Like I don't have any secrets about what I'm doing. I always been a really good Muay Thai fighter when I started. I worked my wrestling, my defensive wrestler, so I could keep him standing. Right now, I'm working like to be offensive in the wrestling, to have a better boxing. Right now I'm just building myself up in a way that I want to be the open up my playbook and have more weapons. Like no matter what I say to you, like I can take the guy to the ground. I can drop him on strikings. Like nothing he can bring to me will scare me. Like I'm ready for anything. So doesn't matter. Like I wish to take him down and submit just because I haven't showed that enough yet. But in the end of the day, like I'm ready for anything he brings. So yeah, like I'll be just in his face. I'll be making him tired and make he get gas himself and not sure where he's going. And I'm just gonna capitalize on that and just keep my pressure until the end. Like I have one of the best cardio in my division. So it's just right now that I'm comfortable with it. I just gonna be using that to pressure and pushing all the guys like to make them uncomfortable through the entire fight. If the fight takes 2 minutes or 5 rounds, I'll be ready.
Do you have the ultimate goal of your career or the highest step you are trying to achieve, if you understand the question?
Yeah, 100%. And the end of the road, I'm looking to be the UFC champion. That's how always been the goal. And I know it's a big goal, but like if I don't believe in myself, who else will? I work hard every day to do it. I knew I have the skill set and the body type and everything to do it. So it's just a matter of getting my opportunities. I believe once I'm inside the UFC, my path to the championship fight will be very close. Like I'm already on the top. I see myself already on the top 5, top 10 on the UFC right now. So it's just a matter to get in and have the opportunities to fight, and I will show the world like in a couple of years I'll become the champion for sure.
Now, historical question. UFC heavyweight division has, well, we can say it's been a problem for Brazilian competitors. Like Brazilians were champions middleweight, light heavyweight, welterweight. There were always great fighters, lightweight especially. But in heavyweight, aside of Verdum, there was pretty much, I can't say a problem for Brazilian fighters, but the majority of them were unable to win the belt. What do you think? What was the ultimate problem of Brazilian fighters in heavyweight division in the past?
It's hard. It's hard to say because I'm not on everyone's camp, but like I see it was just in some point it was just a matter of generate like of not having a full game set going on. Like for example, when Dos Santos lost to Velasquez, he was a great boxer, one of the best in the division, but he had to show more than that. Like I think the time to be good in one style and kind of like just carrying around the rest, it's gone. Like you need to the MMA, the modern MMA fighter needs to be versatile and well-rounded any aspect of the game, and that's the problem with some of the Brazilian guys. I see like a lot of them overlooked the wrestling or the striking or the beat. Like some point of the game was always being overlooked, and then they had competition that had more capability to do it. So
Would you like to add something to the interview? Would you maybe like to greet somebody? Would you maybe like to say something we forgot to mention, or would you like maybe to give a shout out to somebody?
of course, first of all, I want to say to everyone that heard the interview and want to check out my next fight. I'll be fighting on BFL 69. The fight will be exclusively on the UFC Fight Pass. So it's going to be easy to watch all around the world. Fighting fans usually have it. It's going to be there Friday night. I'll be there to put on a show, and after that, I know it's going to be UFC. And a big shout. I want to say big shout and big thanks to my team, FKP MMA, my coach Chris Franco, and my coaches Chris Franco and Jader Martin. They always been there for me, and also everyone at the FKP family. We've been on this journey together. It's been a great journey, so I only can say thank you to them. A couple of my partners at Ford Media Brazil and Rodolfo Zanin that also helping me out. Plus some sponsors that being supporting my dream and my work. I can't forget then the Van Barn Group, DOM Project Service, Rusi Bros Venture Inc., the Drive Market Group, and Action Athletic Wear and Body Fuels Inc. They been supporting our dream, so I can't forget to tell them. Beside my beautiful family, my fiance Gabby, and my newborn baby Leo, that they are my light, they are my rock, and they are the reason I push myself harder every day. And of course, thanks to you to take the time and have this interview with me. Sorry about the audio, the video actually.
No worries. I will edit it, but I must edit it tomorrow, so you will have to wait a bit more because I need to do some cutting on the video. So rendering, I don't have time right now, but tomorrow I will publish it. I promise.
No, sounds good. I'm just saying, like, thanks. Sorry for the trouble. My internet is supposed to be better than that, and I'll figure. Well, it's just like I'm moving, and the provider just canceled my internet today instead of next week. So it's being a kind of nightmare right now. I'm sorry for the mess.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for the interview. Catch you later. I will message you tomorrow when I share the video. I will message you so you can share it too. Thank you so much for the interview, Kyle. And wish you luck in the continuing of your career. Hope to see you in the UFC after this victory, I hope.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, and sounds good. It was my pleasure to be here. Have a good day, and thanks again.
Right. Goodbye.
Bye.